Hey you guys, one more video up here from the fish hatchery, and fish hatcheries are pretty much done. They haven't started to let fish go. One thing that's good and bad about a short river system like this is you have so many thousands of fish here, you guys, that when these fish come up and there's more than one fish that try to lay their eggs on one bed, it's not good when you have this many fish in such a small river system, because if you have a female fish come in and make her bed and drop her eggs, you want those eggs to stay protected. And when another female comes in and starts fanning those eggs, even if those eggs are fertile, she'll blow them off the bed. And the bad thing is the ocean, the salt water, is only about 3 miles below here. So when you have this many fish competing for just a few beds, it's not a good thing as far as reproduction, because a lot of your eggs will be lost. A lot of your eggs will be blown off the beds. Even though they're fertile, they're not going to have time to hatch within a day or two of floating down this river to hit the ocean. Like if you were to drop a little plastic play boat right in here and just let it drift like a salmon egg would if it was drifting through the water, it would be down in the salt water within a matter of hours. And you're needing, several weeks for these eggs to hatch naturally. And so really I'm hoping that they're going to let some of these fish go, but hopefully they don't let all of the fish pass through this weir and go up this little teeny river to try to spawn, because there's just way too much competition for the few reds that there are. So really a perfect management would be to, in my opinion, you guys, this is all my opinion, I'm by far not a biologist by any means, but I've watched it my whole entire life, and I've watched too many hens coming in competing for the same bed, and then the male will come in and sperm them, and then another female will move in and she'll blow the eggs off the bed, and then they'll go adrift. And the trout love it because they're getting food, so it's kind of a good and bad situation. It's good for a lot of fish, but it's not so good for the reproduction of the salmon. Kind of makes sense when you get one red where you've got 10 different salmon laying their eggs at an average about 3,000 to 5,000 eggs per fish, and you get one fish coming in dropping 5,000 eggs, 4,000 eggs, and then you get another fish come in and blow those 4,000 eggs out, lay her 4,000, then another male fish comes in, fertilizes those, and another female comes in, blows those eggs out, and eventually all those eggs and that whole future generation of any of those fish having a chance of survival is not that good. So really, management on some of these rivers that have tremendous runs like this one, it's a good thing to have this many fish, and it's a great thing to have the hatchery here because they get their quota of eggs. But as far as wild reproduction, in my opinion, it's not the best thing, because a lot of your eggs are a total loss because there's just too many fish. And that's a good problem to have, is too many fish, but as far as being managed to where these fish are more spread out so that they each have their own bed and their eggs have a better chance of a wild survival rate, in my opinion, is a better way to manage the fishery than to let 10,000 fish compete for 100 yards of river where there might only be 50 beds and 50 to 100 fish waiting to get on each bed. So there's a lot of management to managing fisheries. Back in Utah, we managed the cutthroat fisheries, and the cutthroats would come up and they would actually sit on the same red several years in a row, but it would just be one hen and one buck. They wouldn't be like the thick salmon here where you might have 50 hens that want the same bed and 50 bucks that want to have the same bed. So there's a real fine line with management, guys, and it's very interesting to try to figure this stuff out. And the Fish and Game does such a absolutely wonderful job with their management here in Alaska and around the world in most places. In some places, in my opinion, they need to listen to the sportsmen and people that actually live the rivers. I'm on the river over 200 days a year at the very minimal. When I was guiding, I was on the river about 300 days a year. Watching anything from cutthroat trout to brown trout to brook trout to lake trout, bluegill, perch, crappie, sculpin, whitefish, salmon. And it's interesting when you spend that many hours on the river. You don't have a college degree, but you have what you call a bucket college degree, and it's super valuable information. But it's tough to talk to people when you don't have a formal education. So basically, it's just my opinion, guys. Like I say, I have no formal education besides living pretty much the wild outdoors my entire life. But I wanted to share that with you guys, that sometimes too many fish is not a good thing, especially in a wild place like this where there's only so much river and the rivers are so short. There's only so many beds for too many fish. So the fish hatchery does a wonderful job here getting the eggs and making these big runs happen. This is probably the biggest run on this island, is on this river. But a lot of the wild fish, they just don't have a chance. So it's a good thing that the Fish and Game manages their fishery so well to keep the hatchery fish strong and the runs strong, and still have a fair, chance at some of these wild fish succeeding and prolonging their future generation for the salmon. Anyway, you guys, just an interesting thought I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope you guys have an awesome day, and sending you guys a great big huge smile from here just below the fish hatchery on Prince of Wales Island. You guys have an awesome day, and stay safe out there, and bless all you guys, and have a nice day. Okay, see you guys. All right, bye.